We would have been here about a minute ago, but we did the funny BBC meme for why the person who that to the camera. Sorry, for those who are listening via audio, the middle finger to the camera. And in the process of doing that, Luke's camera decided to unfocus, so we had to do a double finger thumb up to the camera to send it back. So we would have been here a minute ago, but you know.
My hands have stopped twice. Ah!
Yeah, I know. Fuck you, Nathan, who's doing the editing. Dickhead. Because I probably won't do it till next Wednesday.
No, hang on. Sorry, let's do it properly.
Oh, yeah. I can't do it. Hang on. Oh, how is... hang on. How have you doing that set you off like that? Look at your camera. That would have been a funny intro. I should have just done that one. But, you know, us just casually finding casual ways to swear at the camera.
Oh, yeah, no. It's always good to do that.
Then again, people have...
You've got to tell the camera how you feel.
Exactly. People have already told us that, you know, we're missing quite a few things that normal podcasts have. The ums, the oohs on how to, you know, actually go on with it. You know,
that's the Smurfs thing. I'm worried. Yeah. He's traumatized from all that when he used to record.
Fair.
But, you know, if you can't suddenly just start swearing inanimate objects, what can you swear at?
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Exactly. But instead of, you know, Archer's now playing FM24. I know it's really random to people listening, but I've just seen it, so he did buy it. What a funny bugger.
Anyways, that is, yeah, you convinced him.
Yeah, I actually did.
He's proper gaslit him.
Guys, if you want to buy stuff that are really cheap video games, go cdkeys.com. They're not sponsoring us, but, you know.
I'll say,
they can if they want. They can if they want. I'll happily say yes to that. Anyways,
not happening anytime soon.
We're 2.5 minutes in, but you know, welcome back, guys. Just wanted to start it off really quick because I know I'll end up forgetting with the size of my brain.
Really,
thank you for the the love on the last two pods. To be fair, I didn't mention it last week because I was waiting another week to see what the full results were, and you guys smashed it on the first week. Genuinely, for a pod that we haven't advertised, honestly, we've mentioned it to a few mates who stream, and they were nice enough to plug it when we didn't ask them to. They knew about something happening, and then, you know, that's Luke and James, for those, and you guys, obviously, you're probably listening, so you know who you're on about. So that was good of them. They didn't have to, and they did anyway, which was sound. You know, we're getting good numbers on YouTube, great views in the shorts, TikTok's doing all right, Spotify's getting there. We're also now on Google/YouTube Music, same thing. And we're now also on, what was the other one? Oh, Amazon. And then next week as well, we're going to be on Apple. So we'll be on all the mainstreams one come next week. Apparently Google Podcasts stop in April. So we might not have a podcast on the Google/YouTube by then. Well, YouTube Music at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work. Apparently they're stopping podcast management, so I'll have to look more into it. But apparently that happens in April. They're shutting down support. I was like, I'll use it till then. We'll just see what happens. But yeah, how you been this week, Luke?
Yeah, I've been pretty good. You know, I've had a bit of a bounce back week. You know, in the meantime, we've had 2 Spurs games, so I can be happy about that. We've had the one from tonight and the Newcastle game, both wins. So
look at you.
I'm in a good mood suddenly. From 5 without a win to 2 in a row. No Basuma or Adogi next time out, but let's just take what we can at the moment, you know? Just enjoy the positivity whilst...
And I don't support football at the moment, so I'm all good there. Don't want to talk about mine.
Mate, it's good that you're named Sleepy Renji, because that explains what happened on, I'm going to say Wednesday, was it Tuesday that you got knocked out?
What, Tuesday?
You wouldn't know, you slept through the whole thing, so...
In my defense, for anyone who's listening to this, specifically Lind, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? It was one of those days. I
think it was Tuesday. I feel it was Tuesday.
It was when I was at work, I think. So it would have been Tuesday, because Wednesday I was off because it was my first day off for 5. That was it. So yeah, I basically finished my 3rd day out of 12 hours in a row. And to be honest, I won't lie, I was functioning on 4 hours sleep, and I've been awake for like 17 or 18 hours. So I was like, I'm gonna go to bed, and I set an alarm. I set an alarm to wake up in the second half. I fully planned on missing the first half. I haven't mentioned that before, but I did. I got into bed at 5 to 8, and the game kicked off at 8. I was like, yeah, I'm going to bed. Fuck this. I'm not watching the game. Not watching the game. Absolutely do not care. Got into bed, and then woke up at 5 a.m. the following day.
Yeah, that was a great alarm.
Did not plan for that. And because I had an extra day off because I forgot to plan some holidays, I woke up to my work alarm. So I went to sleep from work, woke up on a day off that I completely forgot about, and I woke up at 5 a.m. and then I was awake till 2 a.m. the following day. And United losing and being kicked out of Europe and all our drama and the pressure on the manager. That's been a really good week. And now we've got Liverpool on a Sunday, I want to say.
I believe it is going to probably sounds like a Super Sunday game, doesn't it?
A super slaughter game is what I'd bloody say.
Yeah, I mean, you're coming to this really positively,
Sunday,
thinking,
half
double digits, you think it's going to be an absolute goal fest.
It has to be.
I'm telling you now, and you can watch this back when I look like an oracle. I probably won't. It's going to be 4-1. It's going to be 4-1 to Liverpool, and it's just going to be open and shut.
Still shit, that is. It's still... There's no reality in any universe, no matter what Doctor Strange says, where we win this. Genuinely. There is not one universe. The only way we don't win is if Liverpool bus don't turn up. The game was called
fans. It's a shame this is coming out before that, because we could have started a rally and maybe stopped them showing up. We could have got blockades, called some JSO protesters or something, get them in front of the bus, remove some wheels.
It's at Anfield.
Get them to.
It's at Anfield.
Yeah, but they might not be able. They'd have to walk. God, they don't want to do that.
The last time we won at Anfield, I was 20.
Oh dear God.
Exactly. It was. Oh no, hang on. No, hang on. 5 years ago. It would have been 5. So I was 20. Still at uni. I was at uni the last time we won this. For context, I'm now 25, guys. If you can't do 20 plus 5, I'm 25. And we haven't won since we had Mourinho in charge and had Daley Blind, Darmian, Smalling, and Ashley Young in defence with Lingard in attack. The only player that remains from that team is Martial, the glass striker. Did not think I'd go into a 3-minute tirade on United, but...
Oh, I mean, I teed you up for it beautifully. I expect this kind of stuff. United fans love rants. That's what you know from just history. They love it.
But my problem is I'm generally right on my predictions.
Yes, you are.
That's something I haven't mentioned before on the pod. I'm genuinely in the last... I'd say I've been trying to predict games the last 2 and a bit months. Every game I've got right apart from 2 United ones. Even ones that seemed impossible. And yeah, so the 2 games I said I got my predictions wrong was United, Chelsea. I said we'd lose. I didn't say we'd get battered or anything. I just thought we were going to lose 2 or 3-0. Which with Chelsea, that's not a battering because Chelsea are equally shit. Turns out they're even worse somehow. And then the other one was the Newcastle game. Where was it Newcastle?
No, you lost 1-0 to Newcastle.
Yeah, I predicted that. What was the other one I lost at? It was
who was someone you surprisingly beat?
No, it was just Chelsea, wasn't it?
You got Bournemouth. No, you said 2 earlier. Hang on, excuse me. Last minute research.
Yeah, it would have been like in United's last 6 games, wouldn't it? Because
it'll be in the last couple of months. We know that much.
Because I said we'd lose to Chelsea, but we won. So that was one I got wrong.
Everton.
Oh yeah. I said we'd lose to Everton because the form they're in. Okay, yeah. So, but we won both games convincingly. But I predicted we'd lose to Newcastle. I predicted we'd lose to Bournemouth. I like the minute we battered Chelsea, I was like, but it doesn't mean anything. We're going to lose to Bournemouth, and everyone was like, nah, we're back. No, shut up.
See, this makes you sound less like an oracle and more just like a pessimist. It's when you start saying, you predicted Spurs beating Newcastle and you predicted Spurs getting at least a point against City. That's when you don't sound like a pessimist.
Like November.
All this is like, I predicted that my last few weeks I predicted United to lose. United to lose. United to lose. Yep. United to lose. You're not playing in France.
Exactly. I know. But the thing is, the month of November was easy to predict because there were a lot of games with a lot of teams that how they were doing. It was easier to predict than it has been in recent months and recent weeks. Whereas now we've just come off since the pod we've lost to Bayern 1-0 and we've lost to
Bournemouth 3-0.
Bournemouth 3-0, yeah. So we scored back to back, I think 5 goals, conceded none. No, conceded 1, sorry, against Cole Palmer. I forgot about that insignificant goal against that ginger little. Yeah. And then I was going to say something and realised like, I've sworn a few times already. I'm not going to say that. And then we've then conceded back-to-back losses. So we've had 3 against Bournemouth, which we lost. We conceded more against Bournemouth than Bayern and Chelsea combined.
Yep.
No Maguire. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so let's talk through
here.
your injury. Sorry, let's talk through your team that's probably going to play against Liverpool, because we've got all those injuries. You got Slab, who's player of the month, injured. You've got Rashford's cleared. Injured. You've got a lot of Rashford being cleared, right? He's been so good.
For those who are listening on audio, I'm staring at the floor because I don't want to think about Rashford playing against Anfield. The guy couldn't work hard enough against Newcastle or Bournemouth or Chelsea. I reckon on a real, the 11 will probably end up being a football fucking special at this rate.
Mate, could be.
I reckon that the 11 facing Liverpool for the slaughterhouse will be Onana. I'm going to say Reguilon at left back, Shaw and either Varane or Lindelof at centre back. If Evans starts over either of those two, I'm going to cry. It's going to be Dalot at right back because we have no one else. Midfield 2, probably Amrabat, and I'm not going to say McSauce because I think he'd probably be on the striker. I get a feeling. I don't see anyone else.
He'll naturally drift there. He'll play in midfield, so we'll mention him in midfield, but he'll just neglect that.
I reckon we'll have Hannibal because we're going to need someone to run, just run around. Because at the moment we've got
not Cobby
against Liverpool. I'd love him to start. Don't get me wrong. I think
he started well and played well against Everton.
Every game he's played brilliantly.
So I don't see any reason why he'd be dropped now. Like
I don't think it's the fact that he's dropped. I don't trust Ten Hag to start him against Liverpool. If he didn't start him against Bayern, he didn't start him against Bournemouth, didn't start him against Chelsea. He started him against Everton. That was it. So it's one of those where like Ten Hag has said himself, he knows the ability he's got, he trusts him. It's just he's making the wrong decisions at the moment with the midfield too. But if he picks Cobby, then great. I think it's going to be Amrabat no matter what, with either probably Cobby or Hannibal. And then above those two, it's probably going to be Garnacho, Anthony, and McTominay or Mount. If Mount's not injured, I don't know if he is or not. There's too many injuries at this point.
I believe he's injured. He might come back from it, but I feel he's injured.
I don't think he dare plays Rashford down the middle against Liverpool. I don't dare. And Garnacho, you can't drop Garnacho at the moment. So it's probably either Højlund if he's not injured, but I think he is. And if Højlund is injured, it's either Martial's injured. There's too many players injured. Sorry, audio users. There's too many injured. I may as well just start up front and goal hang.
I mean, I'm one of those people that can sympathise with you, as can Newcastle fans. Injuries are terrible this year.
Newcastle fans and Spurs are the only teams that can come close to talking to United this season. Because you lot had injuries from the start of November onwards. Because I think that's when Maddison got injured, right? The very start of November.
Maddison and Maddison and Van der Ven got injured on the 6th of November.
Right. Newcastle as well happened like the end of October onwards. United have had this since August. We've had, I think someone said we've had close to our entire squad being injured minus 1 or 2 players. Like Bruno's probably one of the few who hasn't. Onana, I think, had an injury at one point for one game. No, he's played every game. So
no, he wasn't injured. His shirts were just a little bit too tight. That's what you're thinking.
Yeah, but he still played through the pain. God forbid.
He did. He bought the club shop ones.
So the only ones who haven't been injured then is Bruno, Onana.
McSauce?
Oh my god, no, McSauce has been injured as well.
Anthony wasn't injured. He was suspended
but he did miss a game due to a knock to his ankle. I know that.
Oh, okay, you missed that as well. Okay, I was thinking that obviously
Sancho's been out since the spat, but before that he had one game due to a knock, I think. Martial don't even need to come up with the game. I know he's been injured. He's been ill due to an illness.
Probably
Mount had a massive injury at one point. Malacia's out till New Year longer. Martinez out longer till New Year. Like, there's 2 players out of a squad of, was it 32? 20?
No, Mainu's not been injured. He's just not been selected earlier. Was he injured?
He was injured from the start of the season.
Oh.
He played. This is why United fans were being acted like they're deluded. He played 3 games in pre-season, got massively injured in one of the games, missed the entire, and then that game he came back against Everton was his first appearance since the injury.
Oh damn!
So he missed 3 months of the season. So when people say, "Oh, United are exaggerating, we've bought a lot of players, we should be fine with the injuries," we've had everybody injured. Our big £60 million midfielder injured. Our £60 million striker didn't start till fucking end of September. Injured. Amrabat, our emergency midfield signing, injured. Our Reguilon, our emergency left back signing, injured. Now that you deep it, United have been royally done over by this. It's unreal. Newcastle are the only ones who are catching up in terms of they have my little bit of respect. You guys have had extremely key players go, but you never had the squad depth.
Yeah.
So there was always that chance of, everyone said it before the season began, Maddison gets injured, you're screwed. Van der Ven gets injured, we didn't know this before the season, but it was more Romero. You know, you had the Son gets injured, you're a bit screwed, but you had a bit of depth in terms of what was it, Salomon? No, Solomon.
Solomon's injured. Yeah.
Solomon, yeah. So your injuries are, well, you got what? Van der Ven, Perisic, Lloris technically.
Lloris is just not injured. He's just not wanted.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah, same.
We've got Perisic, Solomon. We've got Brennan Johnson went off of a concussion injury today.
Brennan Johnson.
Van der Ven. We've got Bentancur.
Yep.
Ashley Phillips.
Yep.
Who was the backup centre back when we had the centre back crisis going on.
Yep, that's 6.
I'm forgetting that I think it was 8 was what they said currently out. So I'm trying to remember who else. It's not Hill. It's not. I'm probably forgetting someone huge. I've not said Maddison yet in this. I don't think I said Maddison in this yet.
No, right, actually it's 7 then.
So we were forgetting someone huge.
Are we?
No, that was Maddison was the huge one.
Oh right. So it's probably just the 7 then, right? I can't think of anyone else.
I heard earlier it was 8 earlier, right? Perisic, Bentancur, Van der Ven, Maddison, Sessegnon's injured.
Oh, maybe
no wonder I didn't stand a chance. Lo Celso's got a knock in training, but it's nothing too serious, so he's going to be back soon. Keep that for them. But yeah.
Yeah, so you've had key injuries at key moment. You know, he had a big run
and
of games in November.
Some stupidity as well.
Yeah,
talking about
Romero, that's to be expected, but Basuma's just an idiot. He did it against 2 teams that you just didn't need to do. You were cruising at 2-0. There's no need.
So the Basuma one against Luton, one of the few times you see this season you've seen someone booked for diving.
Yeah.
So say what it is. It was a dive. Fair enough. Ref got the right call, but you'd expect more people to be booked.
Yeah,
if you're going to book someone for a second yellow dive, more people should have generally been booked.
100%.
But I accept that it was a red by the letter of the law. Today's one, if anyone tries to debate that one's a red, they're an idiot.
100%.
That tells you they are blinded by bias.
Postecoglou might say it. But that's because he's
I don't think he will.
No, he's not the kind of manager to do it, but he's the only one in the world I expect to say it because he is a manager. But he's not that kind of
manager. So it's ridiculous. If Basuma looks at that back, he'll go, "Oh yeah, Jot, have you seen a replay? Yeah, red, fair enough." Because he argued it on the pitch, but he hadn't seen it back. He's caught him on the knee, stud showing. For those who haven't seen, I compared it to the Curtis Jones one, but much worse.
Oh yeah.
And if the Curtis Jones one's a red, that is the most.
The Curtis Jones one doesn't it like it slides down the side of his leg, doesn't it? Whereas this one, it was just
the
full
Curtis
impact.
Jones one. The Curtis Jones one, he's gone through the ball, gone over the ball as a result of the contact, and then that's gone, like shin and then upwards.
Whereas Basuma, there's just no ball sight.
Caught him square on the knee.
And that'd be an icon.
thank God. All I can say is thank God it wasn't a little bit further across
or down.
Like he's caught him not with the full angle. Like he's caught him with part of his foot.
Yeah.
If that's even half an inch slightly further right, that could be career-defining levels of injury.
Even if you go
like
so a bit to the right or a bit down, he could snap the guy's leg in a heartbeat.
Yeah, like the reason I say right is because when you see it, you see that it catches him. For those that aren't like on YouTube, I'm basically saying that if it's sort of caught him on with his toes.
Yeah.
If that's a little bit further over and full ankle, no give into the knee. Oh,
you could rip all the muscle in his knee.
Yeah, no, I don't want to imagine. I don't want to imagine.
It'd be awful. It wouldn't even be a VAR discussion. It'd be a straight red on them without even VAR.
100%. That would be legs probably the wrong way.
But to be fair, we just mentioned Postecoglou because I remembered a quote he said the other day. Did you hear what he said about Christmas?
Mate.
About his Christmas list?
No.
Someone said, "What are you hoping to get in the January transfer?" He says, "Well, I've wrote my Christmas list, trying to find out if I've been naughty or nice." I was like, mate, I want to miss my manager, man. I love Ten Hag. He's really cold and cool at times, but Postecoglou is just a lad. He's just a lad.
He is lovable. We do love him.
He is the most personality you've had ever. I know Pochettino was nice, but he was also very PR. And then Mourinho at that point was too cynical. He wasn't the Mourinho. He had his moments, but he never had, the Mourinho that we had at United, which was the respect. We had all that stuff. We gave birth to many memes. Many memes. And by the way, I've just realised every manager at United who's been sacked, maybe apart from Ollie, has had a massive personality in terms of being an idiot. We've had Van Gaal, who fell over on the floor to demonstrate a dive, which was, when you see that game live, oh my God, I was screaming effing and blinding it because I thought he was the biggest idiot on the planet. And then afterwards, I was like, he laughed, I was like, no, that was jokes, actually. That was quite jokes. And the Mike Smalling, the Louis Van Gaal's army, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
He was brilliant. I hated his football, absolutely despised it, but he was funny. And then Mourinho had all his legendary moments at United. I'd argue he had probably more viral moments at United than he did Chelsea, arguably. He had normal, cool. He had likable,
but when you think iconic ones, though, the iconic ones are at Chelsea.
I am the special one, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
I am the special one.
He had iconic ones at Chelsea, but he had the viral ones at United.
I prefer not to speak.
Yeah, like that, the hiding behind the curtain meme, all that kind of stuff. But United, he had the respect one. He had the ones where Zlatan tries to smack at him and Bailly around the head with a crutch. That was a good one. And then obviously we had Ollie, who was just a sweetheart. Unfortunately, that's all he was. I for context for people who are listening, I started watching football 2014, so I didn't see him as a legend or anything. He's just a guy that used to play for United. I know who he is, obviously, that's about it. And now we have Mr. Baldhead, the assassin himself, Hitman. Eric Ten Hag. In this case, it'll be... Oh, I just realised Eric Ten Hag is going to hold 10 on Sunday.
That would be funny. That would be funny.
That's what I mean, it all adds up.
You're forgetting the original meme manager you had, the one that just sat in the chair and they made memes about I don't know what I'm doing in Moise.
I never watched it, to be fair, that's why.
You didn't see Moise.
I didn't see Moise.
But, you can imagine.
But now that I know how Moise was set up in terms of he's the next successor, you've got Alex Ferguson's picked him out. That's just doomed to fail no matter what you do. Why on earth would you recommend your successor? That is awful. That's like going, oh, I know I'm leaving, but this guy will do really well instead of me. You've been here 20 years and you've won the most Premier Leagues out of anyone else in the entire league. And yet you think the fella who's done all right at Everton is going to be just as good as you. Yeah, you're an idiot.
Did you know his first ever trophy was the Conference League this year?
What?
I'm pretty certain Moyes' first trophy was the Conference League this year. I swear I heard that the other day.
He won nothing with United. Nothing. Oh, yeah? That's mad. And that's his second stint at West Ham, that is.
Yes, it is.
I think he'll stay for a while with this one, though. I don't see him getting sacked anytime soon. probably leave.
People wanted him sacked for a while, but they held firm, and
they won the Conference League.
They've been proven wrong now. Yeah, they won a European trophy, so now
they've won a European trophy quicker.
Don't you say it.
Than Arsenal and Spurs and United.
We've won more European Cups than them.
I'm not on about lifetime. I'm on about like since last trophies.
Okay.
But if we're talking lifetime, yours is the same either way. Nothing in the lifetime for European. Well,
nothing for me. Thank God, not my lifetime.
Obviously not. That's what I mean. I'm not about my grandfathers. I don't give a shit.
Not the club lifetime, man.
Yeah, let's go talk.
That's what we've got to do.
Let's go talk about 1970s football when Forest were good.
You freaking referenced that.
Yeah, I know, it's taking a piss.
You got that one Forest fan at work, ain't you? That really winds you up with that.
He just mentions how good they were back then, and then they won this. Now they're like, they don't get held in the same esteem as Man City, and I'm like, yeah, I wonder why. And I'm thinking, you've been relegated and relegated and relegated and relegated. You haven't gone anywhere.
Well, they'd been relegated and relegated and relegated, and before the takeover did City. So
that's what I meant when I said earlier about some clubs' history started in 2006 and 2010. They were established hundreds of years before, but their history didn't start till then. Ask any Chelsea fan; they don't remember before 2006.
Well, they remember. What did they remember before 2006?
What do they remember?
2005 was. They remember the 04-05 season where they ended up going and setting a record and beating the Invincibles.
Was that when? Wait, Abramovich the season before then?
Abramovich, I think, came in the 03-04 season.
I'm 3 years too late.
Ranieri was the first manager, I think, under that situation.
Yeah.
Then he hired Mourinho after Mourinho won the Champions League with Porto.
Yeah. Like, that was back in the days where you could hire a manager from, not to disrespect Porto, a lesser known club or a lesser big club, bring them to a big club, and then it worked. Can't do that these days. Chelsea did that with Graham Potter. Stunk.
But Spurs have done that well. We took a good manager from Celtic, and look what's happening. We're doing better than we were last year.
I'm going to say something here. It's not to annoy you. It's because it just tickled my head. In theory, haven't Celtic won more than Spurs?
Yes.
So aren't they, on paper, a bigger club?
Okay, so that on paper stuff we're classing as they walk the league in Scotland every other year because for a while Rangers were good
for one season.
Like, I'm talking generally.
Oh yeah,
because you're talking generally here.
But you can only beat what's in front of you. I'm not saying they're
No. I want to make sure you're confirming that secondary leagues are more important here.
But this is where I get really confused with normal football fans, because again, 2014 onwards.
Hang on, would you not say then that by the same token that Porto have won more than certain Premier League sides, and you would then say the same thing there? So by the time that Porto ended up going to Chelsea, Mourinho, were Porto the bigger club?
At that time,
so your analogy that you made literally a minute and a half
it doesn't apply.
It's completely stupid.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a reason why I said it's
you defeated your own point.
Yeah, I do that all the time, mate. Well, welcome to my brain when I have two-way arguments for myself and I answer my question and defeat my answer at the same time. Welcome. I don't know. Like, I'm always confused when people are like, "Oh, it's a much bigger club," and I'm like, "Yeah, but how do you compare it?" Because you can't go, "Oh, Celtic are a better team." But then if you put them in the prime, it's that conversation, isn't it? You put them in the same league. If you put Spurs in the Scottish Premier League, you probably walk it realistically. Minus of Celtic. Yeah, I don't know.
You've got to make sure you don't trip up against Celtic and Rangers.
Exactly,
and you don't lose stupid games.
You probably walk
Aberdeen.
Like
you'd expect teams to walk it. Yeah.
And this isn't me being like because I'm a top 6 bias fan, but it's more like I think if you put a Forest into Scottish Premier League, I probably think they do all right. I don't think they win it. I think they probably come top 3 or top 4, even though there's like 9 or 12 teams in that league. I think. Like,
I think pretty much where do I draw the line on this?
Luton.
No, I wasn't going that low. Don't you worry.
Well, I can name them quickly. If we're talking minus the last few years, it's Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, but again, you guys are prone to slip-ups, but again, it's only 2 slip-ups a year. Oh, sorry, 2 slip-ups a year. So both Celtic...
I believe the way the Scottish League, I swear, works weirdly. That it's like the top half plays the top half, and the bottom half play the bottom half in the second half of the season. It's something really weird.
Either way, you're still going to have 2 games per team, isn't it? Near enough.
No.
Oh, is it not?
No, that's why I'm like, I swear the Scottish League's weird. Where like halfway through the season, they end up playing extra games. I don't know how it works. I swear I saw it once and it just doesn't work.
I'm a read while thinking about
it. There's like a split.
There's 16 teams in the league. Teams receive 3 points for a win, no points for a loss. Yeah, no fucking shit. There's a playoff, European qualification. I know all this. It doesn't really explain it.
I just swore there was something weird about it. I could be very wrong here. It might be lower divisions I'm thinking of.
I think it might be.
I might be thinking of lower divisions in Scotland. Who knows?
During the first phase, each club plays 3 games against every other team, either once at home or twice away or vice versa. After the first phase of games, by which all clubs have played 33 games, the league splits in 2 halves, a top 6 section and a bottom 6 section.
This is what I meant.
A season which runs from August to May is divided in 2. It's called the split, this category, so I didn't see it. Right. Oh, the format was used... Oh. I think it's been disbanded. Each club plays a further 5... Is it still going on, this? It doesn't state when it ends. So no, so basically it says top flight footballers contain 12 clubs during this period.
Yeah, this is 2001. That's 2001.
So it has stopped then. This is used to prevent the need for a 44 game schedule based on overtime. The format was used in the Scottish Premier Division, which is like main league.
So yeah, I've gone historic essentially.
Yeah, it was used in the 1980s, 1990s, but it is now 2 higher number of games a league season. So it was used. You're not wrong. It was used at one point then. But even so now then. So even if we go back to the original point, we're probably talking Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, United. No, fuck it. Liverpool, City, Arsenal.
Yep.
Newcastle.
They're the only 4.
Arsenal, United at the moment are way too inconsistent and are slipping up at every hurdle.
Right.
You guys don't have the squad depth.
If you're adding in Newcastle, surely you add in, say, a Brighton.
Newcastle
or a
was a bit of a push, to be honest. If I'm going by actual ones, I'm 100% confident in Arsenal, Liverpool, City. That's it. In previous years, I'd go the full 6 or 7. These days,
you
just
rate
those 3.
them that highly.
Yeah.
I just want to confirm how highly you're rating the Scottish League.
No, I rate those 3 that highly.
No, but you're rating the Scottish League
I'm on about walking the league undefeated number 1. No debate.
So let's do the reverse then. Let's say, where are you putting Celtic and Rangers if they were in the Premier League in place of, say, Sheffield United and Luton?
Rangers get relegated immediately.
Right, okay. Where Celtic
where Chelsea are, so like 10th, 9th.
Right, so you're telling me 8 teams are better, but only 3 are guaranteed to win the Scottish Premier League.
But again, the clubs I didn't name, like the United, Spurs, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brighton, Aston Villa. Aston Villa, it's the first season when they've been like this. Newcastle, it's the second season.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are way too much slip-ups like us. So United and Spurs gone. Brighton, to me, I don't really know what the situation was these days. They were last year, they were unbelievable and non-stop, but now they're a bit like they're going under the radar, not doing much. But they're doing all right in Europe. They keep getting last-minute winners. I know that. Mm-hmm. And who was the other one? Brighton. Did I mention Newcastle? Oh, Newcastle as well. They slip up at the moment a lot. So I don't see that. Like, if we're talking just winning the league, there's probably a lot more teams I'm on about. But if we're talking guaranteed 100%, I can back my house on it, my flat, my life savings, Those three I have more faith in than any other team in the Prem. And it's not that I
feel
rate
you're overrating the Scottish League a little bit.
Oh, I'm definitely wrong. I know that. But like, if I'm talking, I can close my eyes, let it happen without even keeping an eye on it. I don't need to worry about City ever. Liverpool, it's the same. Arsenal, they're now in that conversation in my eyes. Realistically, it's probably 7 or 8 or 9 teams, but I'm trying to give them a little bit of respect, the Scottish League. But
you're giving them a lot of respect.
You're
giving them
but those three,
you're saying they've got an outside shot at top 4 levels of respect here.
But those three, I'm also applying them to Championship, League 1, League 2, League 1, Eredivisie, La Liga, not La Liga, fucking hell, Portuguese League. I reckon those three walk all of those all the time. Because if you look at everyone's representation in Europe at the moment as an example of how we're doing against other teams, United stunk. Spurs didn't qualify, Chelsea didn't qualify, Brighton are doing all right, but they're also in the Europa League. Liverpool are in the Europa League, but they're storming it. Well, minus 1 or 2 hiccups. City walked it. Arsenal walked it against various competitions. So again, I'm definitely giving team respect, but it's in case of any Scottish League fans listen, and I don't really want to get roasted for just being a dick towards them.
Oh, I mean, I'll get roasted for that. But the thing you mentioned about the 2 sides that have been knocked out of Europe is that we go back to what we spoke about probably 20 minutes ago with the injury crisis that both those teams have gone through.
But last year, but I just don't see. I don't think United and Newcastle are consistent enough. I don't like it. If we're talking last year, I'm probably being a bit recency bias here. Then I'd probably change my answer. But recency bias is definitely playing its part here.
Yeah, recency bias sounds like it's a thing, but I'm just gonna make sure that, like, I don't think it's credible to say that Celtic would have an outside shot at top 4. I think they'd struggle to get top half. I'm not going to say they get relegated.
So this is where my own.
But they would be bottom half.
Yeah, this is where my own argument goes a little bit.
If this was maybe 10, 15 years ago, yeah, you'd say top half, maybe pushes for a European slot at a push. That's when, you know, teams didn't have as many good players.
Yeah. Like
the lower half might have, like, you might have some teams in the lower half that would have one good player. Yeah. This year, most years, outside of say Luton, but even Luton have got some good players. That they've got a Ross Barkley that back in the day would have been considered a good player.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's at least got a big player these days that they can say, oh, that's our guy. Like, the way I would always point to it is with, say, a Palace when they had, like, oh, we got Zaha. Like, you could at least go with Palace had... Yeah. So they've got multiple big game players at that point. Could you say that always? Like, Celtic would have had good players in the early 2000s, like in the 2000s, maybe early 2010s.
Yeah.
So for me,
the main
like,
difference...
back then, they could have competed more and would have been, if they'd been incorporated into the English leagues, would have had a fighting chance of maybe Europe.
No, to be fair, I do get what you mean. And I'm going to keep talking because Luke's talking to someone else. I think one of the main things that, like, I think I'm probably going to contradict myself with here is I don't think if they both go into the Prem or any other team Celtically, I don't think they actually, now that I deep it, now you've made that point, I don't think they do anything. Which is a bit contradicting myself a little bit, but again, it's because I know how big the quality is in the Prem that I don't trust them, everybody apart from those 3, to go abroad in a different league and do the same they do at home. Like, I trust those 3 undoubtedly. I hate the 3 of them, but I know they would. Like, I know if you put Celtic against Brighton at home on a Saturday night, I know they're getting battered. I know if you put them at Luton, they're probably going to get beat 1-0 with a nick-away penalty that's a bit shit.
That's where I'm drawing the line here. Like, there's disrespect, and I've disrespected them a lot.
Okay, you know what? Switch Luton out for Leicester, because Leicester should never have gone down. But Leicester of recent years.
Leicester have lost. Yeah, but of recent years, literally, excluding last year, they've been fighting for top 6.
Yeah. So I mean,
like you saying recent years, like yeah, now they're not in recent years. They've lost Maddison.
Southampton would have beat them. Watford would beat them.
Okay, what are we talking? 2015 Watford,
yeah.
That time period.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not on about recent days. I don't
So
know
we're talking like when they were getting like top 8.
Yeah. Like Deeney, Pedro.
Yeah, we're talking historical. Like yeah, okay. If we're talking
8 years.
So Pedro.
Yes, Jean Pedro was there.
Yeah, but that was when they were like going down.
He stayed with them for a while. He was committed.
Yeah, in the championship, we have got wildly away from this.
Yeah.
Like this has gone on and on.
But again, we were doing a little bit about football. It's now 40 minutes in about football.
It really is. This is probably, let's be honest, some of this is probably getting trimmed.
I'm definitely labeling this football special easily. So if someone wants to skip it, they happily can.
Yeah, here I was excited to talk about Pokemon DLC, but I feel we've gone way over.
Now we've got plenty of time still to talk about Pokemon DLC.
I don't know if we do. We might have to save that for the New Year special.
True, actually, we could. Like I said, we do have to. Obviously we're doing 2 at some point, so that's fine. Right. Yeah. In that case, because I've just realised it's 42 minutes, but that's fair.
That's why I was like, yeah, no, we've got enough time.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna call it quits here for the night, guys. We're gonna be back shortly, so in about a week's time, with the New Year special. Well, by the time this comes out, it's the New Year special. So if you're seeing this, Happy New Year. If not, ignore me. You're delusional. I'm fine. You're right. So we'll be doing that in, obviously it'll be a week's time. So who knows? I might have my beard back. Probably not in a week's time, but you never know. Hopefully it'll hide the second beard, by the second chin by that point. But no, what we'll do is we'll see you then. We'll see you later. Check out all the videos that have been posted, all the shorts, the TikToks, follow all that shit. Luke, do you want to say anything?
No.
As usual. Right. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.